Theo, I don't want to make this video.
You're right there, Dad.
No, our predictions were shocking, and you know what? What's worse than that? This video's not going to get 10,000 likes.
Yes, it will. Come on. You're a 54-year-old man. You're sad. Everyone's going to hit the like button.
Oh, yeah, thanks for telling everyone my age.
I had to. Well, your predictions were that bad.
Come on, let's get on with it then, Theo. It's Arsenal Football Club. You said 6th, I said 6th. They're actually top of the league. 5 points clear, a game in hand, Theo.
Hold on. We said 6th. Where did it all go wrong?
I tell you what, Theo, we were not brave enough because we said in our video they could be 2nd, 3rd or 4th, but we were too cautious with our prediction. Great manager, great young squad.
And they haven't had too many injuries like a lot of the top 6 teams.
Yes.
And we've underrated Arteta. How determined and motivated he's made his team is just incredible. And the players, let's go through the best. Odegaard, the silent leader. No one expected him to be as good as he's been this season. I didn't, for one. Ben White at right back. He's completely revolutionised that position. Ramsdale being so key in big moments of matches against clubs like Tottenham. It's just insane how well Arteta's drilled them in the training ground. They want it more. They win all the 50-50s. Fair play to them is all I can say. I got this so wrong.
And the great thing about Arsenal, Theo, they've not done this by spending hundreds of millions. They've got a lot more out of Xhaka and Partey. Bukayo Saka has been superb.
When I think about it, they've made 2 key signings in Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. Both of them have been key when they've played. And yes, Jesus got injured and he's back soon. But Eddie Nketiah has lived up to the boots.
Aston Villa, 9th, 10th, 11th, Theo.
Ooh,
now, Unai Emery is in charge. I think 10 points from the last 4 games. It's looking pretty good there, isn't it?
The thing is, when we made the predictions, we thought Steven Gerrard would still be the manager.
Now, Jack Grealish left about a year ago. They got 100 million. I think they invested it well. So full marks to the owners for investing in this team.
And actually, I think if Diego Carlos was still playing today, I think Steven Gerrard would be the current manager.
Certainly no talk of relegation. There might be talk of Europe. Bournemouth, we both said they'd be rock bottom, and they are 18th. In fairness to them, they've got the cheapest squad in the league. So is the problem the boardroom, the owners?
No, it's not. They can't compete in the Premier League. There is too much money for them to handle. Their recent form has proved that, and I think we will be correct that they will finish bottom of the Premier League.
1 point in 5 games, and I think they've conceded 42 goals this season. That is the worst in the league. Brentford Football Club, 15th. They're actually 8th, and they've only lost 4 times this season. What I want to know is, why did we underestimate them?
Well, let's be honest, when they lost Christian Eriksen in the summer to United, people were saying they're going to get relegated.
I think we both rated Ivan Toney from the start. He's got 13 goals. He's 3rd in the Golden Boot race. Let's hope he can stay playing football.
But even when Toney and Eriksen are not in that 11, you can see that Thomas Frank knows what he's doing. He brings the best out of everybody, from the forward roles to the defence. And David Raya in goal is one of the best keepers in Europe right now.
Brighton and Hove Albion. You said 12th, I said 12th. They're actually 6th. And they lost Graham Potter and Yves Bissouma, didn't they?
When we first made these predictions, Bissouma and Cucurella had just been sold, so we thought they'd fall off. They've improved.
And I tell you what, Theo, this is another very well-run club, isn't it? Tony Bloom at the helm. And certain players there, like Alexis McAllister, Solly March, Pascal Gross, have just been superb.
And De Zerbi, people had written him off. Souness didn't think he'd be ready for the Premier League with a lack of experience. He's proven the haters wrong. He's smashed it in those big games. And even without Leandro Trossard, they've got Mitoma lined up. Everyone's underrated in that squad. Pascal Gross linking everything together.
I tell you what, a wonderful time to be a Brighton fan. Chelsea Football Club, you said 4th, I said 5th, and they're actually 10th. Now, let's not forget, this is a club with €1 billion worth of so-called talent.
Unbelievable. I don't know how they've fallen away like this. They're even spending so much money, but since we predicted it at the start of the season, a lot has changed. The owners changed. The manager's changed. They've basically had a complete player switch around.
They have, Theo. The Abramovich thing can't be underestimated. When you've got new owners, it often causes instability.
It does.
But for me, some of the players at Chelsea Football Club are just not delivering. You look at the likes of Havertz and Pulisic.
Ziyech.
These players should be doing more, shouldn't they?
Jorginho, N'Golo Kante, I know he's not been around, but
Raheem Sterling.
when you're paying that much for wages for a player that's just constantly injured or he's not up to the books anymore, you've got to get him gone. Now that João Felix and Mudryk are there, that should answer their problems the second half of the season. Do you think they can push for top 4?
Well, if João Felix is not getting sent off for a rash challenge, but you know what? The hour that we saw of him at Craven Cottage, he looks good.
I predicted Champions League football. They probably won't get that, but that 5th place you mentioned, I think that could be on the cards.
Crystal Palace, you said 12th, I said 12th, and they're actually 12th.
We got it right! We got it right! We got it right! How did we get this one?
Well, I'll tell you what, Crystal Palace are in their usual position, which is midway between the relegation zone and the European places, but they've got 2 points in 4 games. A little bit of a worry.
They clearly have leaks in their team. How Jordan Ayew has appeared in 20 games this season, and their fullbacks constantly rotating. Yes, there's been a couple of red cards, a couple of injuries, but I just don't think Nathaniel Klein is cut up for the Premier League anymore. And they've got a lot of of gems. We know from the likes of Eze and Elise, you make them work with Zaha and they will score more goals. I just don't know why it's not working. They've got a lot of strikers in the squad and they're not scoring goals.
Everton Football Club, 17th,
Yes.
14th, 19th. Now, this is a club in turmoil from the top to the bottom, isn't it, Theo?
And I don't blame the players. I don't blame the manager. I actually blame the board. Mashiri and co have ruined this club. They've spent a lot of money, but in the wrong places and constantly overpaying. And when Richarlison, their key player, was sold, what they do? By Dwight McNeil? They never properly replaced him. They're going down. And I hate to say it.
They've invested a lot of money into a building site by the River Mersey, which will be a brilliant stadium in due course. But what they've invested in the club has not been enough and has been in the wrong places. You look at that squad and you think Championship.
Especially now with the news that Onana and Gordon didn't turn up to training, they won't be anywhere near your prediction, Dad. They're probably going down.
Fulham Football Club. We're not going to talk about this one,
No,
Theo.
we're not.
Let's just pass on.
It's
What
worse
I
than-
won't say is that you said 19th, I said 19th, and
No.
they're actually 7th.
We didn't both. We didn't both
In
say it.
our defence, Theo, Fulham have got the second cheapest squad in the league. Now, I think what we did here, what all the pundits did here, Theo, they looked at how badly Fulham spent last time, but this time they've spent really well.
How did we predict them to go down?
One thing is Mitrovic. Now, last time round, the manager didn't trust him. I think it was Scotty Parker. This time round, the manager trusts him, and he's smashing in the goals. He looks superb.
It's from João Paulinho, the hidden gem. It's to Willian, the new signing, who's smashing it, connecting Mitrovic. Andreas Pereira, they spent 10 million. Incredible recruitment.
The likes of Tim Ream, Anthony Robinson, ex-Bolton
If
players.
you're mentioning Bolton, you've got to mention Anthony as
You
well.
do, Theo.
The
So-
US duo, they got Cedric in at right back. That's good for squad depth. Do they need a bit more? Let's find out. Good luck to Fulham.
Leeds United, 18th,
Yeah.
17th. They are 15th, but they're in a real relegation tussle, aren't they, Theo? 4 wins all season, 1 point off the relegation
And my
zone.
reason why I said they'd go down is they just lost their best midfielder, Calvin Phillips, their best winger and goal scorer, Rafinha, and Jesse Marsch took it in at the end of the year. It was hard to judge what he'd do. They made some great signings. In fairness, the best I would say is Tyler Adams. He's now better than Calvin Phillips.
He's a very good player. Rodrigo Moreno, ex-Bolton once again. 10 goals this season. He's in the top 5 for the Golden Boot.
Bamford's been injured the whole season, so they've been reliant on Rodrigo. Do you think that's affected them?
To some extent, I'm no offence to Bamford, but I don't think he's the future.
And even our predictions, 17th and 18th, they should be around a relegation battle. Let's see where they lead in the future.
Leicester City, 10th, 7th. They're actually 14th.
7th?
Now, I know Brendan Rodgers' lads have lost 12 games this season. They're just too easy to beat, aren't they?
If you doubled your prediction, that's where they are.
Part of the problem, Theo, the brilliant James Maddison, who has been brilliant when he's been available, has been injured a
The
lot.
whole team hasn't really turned up, apart from one name, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. The rest of them, Jamie Vardy's got 1 goal this season. Harvey Barnes got 7 goals, fair enough to him. Maddison's great when he's fully fit, but he's never bloody fully fit. And the owners, how much backing does he really get? So I don't blame it all on the manager. How much investment do Leicester City really get? We don't speak about that enough. I feel as if they might be looking to sell soon.
7 years ago, Theo, Leicester City were the Premier League champions, and now the wheels are falling off the project. Liverpool, you said second, I said second, and they are 9th, and we've got to hold our hands up and say, we got this one wrong. Why did we get this one wrong?
Injuries, I would say the uncertainty within the board. One player I didn't think would fall off this hard is Mohamed Salah.
Yes,
Real
also
shame.
Nunes came in for a lot of money. He's
I think
misfiring.
I think Nunes will work though. I don't see Nunes as the problem. I'm sure if they had a full fit team and it was rotating and players were coming in and out and someone was fighting for Nunes' spot directly like Diogo Jota, I bet you they'd both improve.
I watch a Liverpool game on the telly box and think they're going to concede.
I actually think they need more investment as a club going forward. They've got a very old squad now. I don't know how James Milner's still playing.
Yeah.
Jordan Henderson doesn't really cut it.
And we've been saying this for years, haven't we, in these vlogs, that at some point you have to reinvest. I wouldn't even think of getting rid of Jurgen Klopp.
Well, I completely agree with you, Thogden. Young Klopp's not the problem. There's a lot of issues in that squad right now, and they'll start to reset to the old Liverpool.
Manchester City, we both said they'd be champions, and they're in second place
Goodness me.
despite scoring 53 goals.
Everybody predicted City to be first in the Premier League this season. Why?
Wait. Didn't Spencer say...
Maybe he said second because of Liverpool. I don't know. If he put Liverpool first and they're currently 9th, I don't know why he's feeling. Nobody doubted that there'd be another Premier League club above them.
Yeah.
Why are they second, Dad? Please, just tell me a reason.
First of all, let's talk about Erling Haaland. 25
Yeah.
goals in half a season. Can he possibly get 45 to 50 goals this
He's a
season?
joke. He's the most standout player in the world. I can't believe some people were saying when he went on a blank of 3 games, people were saying that they're better without him.
Kevin De Bruyne has been superb.
Yeah.
Rodri's been his usual self.
So
the
what's
likes
the
of
problem?
Mahrez, Foden have been brilliant. It's not a problem. Arsenal have just overperformed. Arsenal have just been sensational. Man City, watch out for them.
Comment below, who's winning the Prem?
Manchester United, 5th, 4th, and they're actually 4th, Theo. The power of Eric Ten Hag.
And when we did this video, Ronaldo was a United player, and I think they had a different manager to Eric Ten Hag. It's a completely different situation, and they are now, I can fully say they're on the up. They're going to get a Champions League spot. I'm very convinced by that.
Bruno Fernandes has been rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford's been sensational. Goal a game recently.
Let's go player for player. Bruno Fernandes has always turned up when Ronaldo wasn't there. Ronaldo was the problem for them too. They've taken him out of the equation, and all of a sudden they're good again.
I tell you what, Christian Eriksen is evergreen, and Lisandro Martinez, what a plur.
What a beast. The Argentinian. No
and
wonder they sing his name.
Everyone was joking about his height, weren't they, a few months ago?
They were. Hit the like button if you question Lisandro Martinez's height.
Be honest.
Look at him now.
Be honest.
Be honest.
Newcastle United, you said 7th, I said 9th, and they're actually 3rd, Theo. Now, we both said that within 2 or 3 years they'd be Champions League, but it's happened very, very quickly, hasn't it?
It's amazing what Eddie Howe has done. To turn Almiron around this season like he has is just a joke. His stats last year were nothing like it.
One player I want to talk about, because remember, Newcastle United, 11 goals conceded, best defence in the league. One of the best players in Europe this season, Kieran Trippier.
He is the most creative fullback in the world right now.
And he is superb. Nick Pope in goal. When did he last let a goal in?
That was a great signing. They didn't overspend on that as well. The new owners have brought a lot of money, but they're not overspending. They're being very clever with their money.
That is the amazing thing, Theo. This is not throwing hundreds of millions at it, which they will do over time. This is overperformance very early. Nottingham Forest, 16th, 18th, 13th. Now, I'll tell you what, Theo, you said they wouldn't go down, and under Steve Cooper, great manager.
And you said you did. Why did you say Forest would go down?
I didn't see what's happened recently. 8 points in the last 4 games. The likes of Brennan Johnson, my goodness, what a player he's going to be.
I always had a good feeling from Forest because their fans are so good at home. And honestly, I think the home form will keep them up.
Do you know what? It is a very likeable club, isn't it, in terms of players, fans, and everything about them. A lot of neutrals are saying, I hope Forest stay up. Anyone who said Steve Cooper out, give your head a wobble, because he is a cracking manager. He was at Swansea, he is at Forest. But Theo, I don't want to rain on your parade, but what I will say, it's a long way to go. They might be saved by game week
That's big words
37.
Let's see.
Southampton, 14th, 16th. They are rock bottom, Theo. Now Nathan Jones in charge. Can he keep them up?
I don't know. There's only one good player in that team, it's James Ward-Prowse.
Yes.
I don't think the owners know what they're doing. I'm not convinced in Nathan Jones as a manager.
James Ward-Prowse is an exceptional player. He's not a good player. His free kick ability, his set piece ability is sensational there. And that's the worry. If they go down, or even if they just survive, he could easily go to one of the big clubs in Europe.
Well, they've got a new Croatian winger. We love him, don't we?
Orsic from Dinamo Zagreb. He's a big player on his day, Theo. Tottenham Hotspur, we both said 3rd place, and they're actually in 5th place, so not far off at
3 points.
Theo. But the thing about Tottenham, they've lost 7 games this season. You turn on the telly box, they can either be brilliant or they can be woeful. When the likes of Bentancur, Kulusevski, Richarlison, when they are fit, Theo, when they're not in the operating room.
Well, Dad, Richarlison doesn't have a Premier League goal yet.
He doesn't.
Yeah, that's very worrying.
Give him time, Theo. Give him
time.
Give him time.
He's had a lot of fixtures to be able to do that.
Give him time, Theo.
It's quite right. And
it takes time to gel. The man Daniel Levy is a really good chairman. He's brought you one of the best stadiums in Europe. He's delivered that stadium. Of course, he's made mistakes over the years. He should have sold Dele Alli at the right time for over 100 million. For example, in business, you make mistakes. Overall, I'd love to have Levy as my chairman.
Do you not think he treats it too much like a business?
Football is a business, sadly.
And if they do get top 3, this is a very good season.
We've not got this prediction wrong
yet.
I
don't think we have. Let's see.
West Ham United, we both said 8th, and they are 16th, Theo. And this is a team in London. There's 7 Premier League teams from London. West Ham are 7th. So in terms of bragging rights, that is shocking.
We got this all wrong, let's be honest. What has gone wrong? Souček was scoring big moments against that Spanish team they beat in the round of 16 or whatever. They're almost in a relegation battle. Their highest moment of the season was beating Everton at home 2-0 with Bowen goals.
Not almost. They are right in the thick of a relegation battle, Theo.
Yeah, it's worrying.
And the squad looks tired. It looks as if it needs a complete refresh. I think it's scoring goals. I think it's creativity. I think that is the problem.
Scamacca hasn't scored at all. I mean, you got one good goal against Leeds recently, but apart from that, I can't picture him scoring in big games.
That is true.
Antonio, what's happened to him? He was in everyone's FPL team last year. No one's even glanced at him this season. Do you think Moyes is the future of West Ham? Be honest. Yes or no?
I think he's a good manager, not a great manager. He's done good things at times for West Ham and Everton. I'm going, I don't know. And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers, 13th. They are 17th and the lowest scoring team in the league. It's gone a bit wrong, hasn't it?
That is simply the problem. Matheus Cunha's come in and he's not scoring goals, which is worrying, but Raul Jimenez can't do it. Diego Costa can't do it. Juan Ki-Chan. Who is going to save them? Or is it They need more supporting runs. They need more creative footballers. They've got a new manager now. I think Lopetegui is starting to lead them in the right direction there. Do you agree?
He is a good manager by all accounts, but I'm not sure where it's going with Wolves.
But you know what? Something really annoys me right now, Dad. It really winds me up.
That person there is not liked or subscribed.
I can't believe they're not. Why would they not like?
Shocking.
Thug has been roasted all day about his horrible predictions, and they haven't liked.
And they were horrible. They've liked.
You know what? They're so bad. You need to go. You need to go. I'm kicking you out.
Do you know what? I'm giving up on projections. I'm going to go and join a monastery. See you.
Go there. Bye-bye. And on that note, it's time to go. Bye-bye.